Good evening. My name is Tori Smith, and I would like to do the daily report for the DARPA CIA-operated child trafficking operation here in the United States. And, DARPA also has CIA locations all around the world. The main locations are here in the United States. There are 39 of them, with other locations that are also used for child trafficking, but not all the MyLab purposes, such as the creation of biological and chemical weapons, the creations of temporals and artificial drones. Everything I'm about to tell you now is the same as before. All of this can be verified at the Hall of Justice and also at the Hall of Records. But the Hall of Records doesn't keep videos of this type of activity. All those videos are kept at the Hall of Justice, which you can see. And thankfully, they're not altered, but they're somehow either, I can't look at any of them, that's why I don't know. But I think that they mute out the children. So if you want to watch a child, if you want to verify, because I accuse people of raping children all the time, if you want to verify a specific person, you can contact a Hall of Justice and see the video of them raping a child, but it's not like a porno movie. It's not like child pornography. It's presented in a way that's fit for a courtroom, which I try to speak, but it's actually not very easy for me to do because I hate all these people so much. They're such filthy. And the funny thing is I get all these emails from women just saying they want to chop their dicks off. It's kind of funny. I don't know what's going to happen to them, but I don't really think it's going to end out well in their favor. And by the way, if you think the temporals or drones are coming into your home, the vibration has changed so much, all you have to do is say, I invoke the sacred fire into you. You don't have to know what a temporal is, but it's an artificial intelligence unit that can either have a person inside it or not. Well, the soul of a person. And they also carry weapons, I know, because they do it all the time. They broke my arm, my astral arm, and then it translated down, because when I moved my arm quickly, I could feel the bones clacking together. I'm like, well, why wouldn't they break my arm, after they put snakes in my body? I'm sorry, this isn't about me. And thank you, by the way, for all the people and their well wishes and the prayers for these children. I really do believe this is going to end soon, although the new CIA director was arrested and also the new Attorney General was arrested. And boy, was I glad to see those two men go, because they just were on a spree of killing our children. Okay, today, Tuesday, 23rd of February, we have 46 children in 2 locations. And this is one of those that really, really touch our hearts. Because these children were just raped over and over and over again. That's why I do this research before, and then I write it down so that way, because I just get so upset. I don't want to jumble the numbers every once in a while. I make a simple mistake, but I always correct myself when I catch it. This morning around 6 a.m., a cargo plane landed in Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, which is the Las Vegas MyLab. And the children came from 3 locations. Oh, I forgot to look this one up. Singapore, Canton, and this other region of China, I think it starts with an XI, like Z something or whatever. I meant to look. I can look that up and then put it in the details box. 37 of these children were Asian, and the other 9 were Filipino, and which I don't know how to spell, so I'll have to look that up too. Once the children were on the plane, the Air Force, there were 17 Air Force men, but all these children were raped by the Chinese military before they were shipped off, before they were picked up by the Air Force. And they had 17 men on the plane. And so they took 17 of the cutest children were kept separate for the Air Force captains to rape on the way home. And these men raped these children 3 times. 3 times each Air Force captain raped a child. And so that means the 17 children were raped 51 times total. There were 15 girls aged 4 to 8 years old and 2 boys aged 8 and 9. Of the 46 children, 32 were girls and 14 were boys. And all of them were raped by the Chinese military before they were given to the Air Force. Oh, I'm sorry, I repeated that. Once at Nellis Air Force Base, 7 boys were selected for these other Air Force men, 12 of them, and they raped these boys 2 or 3 times apiece. No, each Air Force man raped 2 or 3 times. So there were 34 rapes of these 7 boys, which is so typical. This is so typical of the military. I just can't tell you how much I hate military people. I know there's some good ones in there somewhere, but my question is, why the hell don't the good military people do something about the bad military people? They don't. They just sit around and say, oh, you're going to rape and murder a bunch of children today? Well, good for you. I'll turn my face the other way. Sorry, I'm just old and bitter. And then the children were sent to 2 locations, Pentagon and Roswell. 26 of these children were gang raped at the Pentagon, my lab, by 258 men. All Pentagon employees, and then 26 high-ranking officers killed the children by choking them to death during rape. 258 men on 26 kids. How typical for America. Roswell, New Mexico, the Roswell My Lab, 20 children were gang raped by 178 men. 178 men raped 20 kids. And they were from the Army, Navy SEALs, Air Force, the Marines, AFRICOM, SOCOM, NORCOM, and DHS. And then 20 NORCOM males, I think it's called United States Northern Command. It's another group of filthy, lying murderers. Sorry. The 20 NORCOM males were selected to kill the children. 19 of them choked them to death during rape, and another female that was present, she killed a child with a 17-inch Illuminati dagger, which was driven through the heart of a 7-year-old boy. And, you know, let me take a deep breath. You know, I was looking at how many countries the United States military is murdering in. I know at one point it was up to 156 countries the USA were committing war crimes in. But now it's dropped to 116 countries that the United States military is committing war crimes against. But that's, even one war crime is way too much. Luckily, this is about to end. I really don't think any local or law enforcement police officers, you know, and the funny thing is, today I had a really strong vision and I was able to understand things a lot more clearly. There is a divine timetable for this planet, and you know, I was sharing my belief or my view, my vision with my spirit guides, and they said I was close, because it would have been so much better if we could have handled this on our own. But most of the things we haven't. That's why the galactics have had to come in. There have been group after group after group of people, beings, aliens, entities, whatever you want to call these monsters, removed. Most of them have gone to a place called Aeron. It's spelled A-E-R-O-N. That's where George Bush's trial was. Barbara Bush's trial was over. She has to move into the light. George H.W. Bush no longer exists. He wasn't killed. He was basically removed from the universe and put into the uncreated mass, which, if I were in charge, they all would have gone in there after, you know, removing their penises. But I'm sorry. And then, so, because we can't count on police and law enforcement officers here because they're all involved, you know, we don't have people on our side. I really don't know how it's going to work out. But I do know, and most people who are spiritual people know, that the earth is going through an ascension process, which means the vibration is going up and up and up. And that's why we can destroy temporals by simply saying, I invoke the sacred fire. Because the vibrations are so high, it takes them out, because they're basically energy beings anyway. And then so are their weapons. Their weapons are basically energy things. It's almost like a ghost, but it's not really a ghost, because a ghost can't pick you up and throw you across the room or fire a weapon at you. And so the process, so many things have changed that I know that we're close. it's just a shame that nobody on this planet cares to do enough, cares enough about these war crimes and these child trafficking situations enough to do about it. But it all has to come to an end because the vibration is going up, and if the people are not removed, they'll die. These lower vibrational beings, they can't stay here. It's like you can't take a machine gun into heaven and gun down a bunch of angels. It's just not possible. The gun would literally fall apart. Even if you did have the technology to go up in the dimension, because I believe heaven starts on the 7th dimension, and we're in the 3rd and 4th, and then the galactics are in the 5th and 6th. Like inside Angartha, inside the Earth, inside Venus, they're in the 5th dimension. But even if you did have the technology to go up to heaven, because of the transformational state, all the weapons would just dissolve and just like turn into dust or whatever and blow away in the wind. You can't take the weapon into heaven. And that's what Earth is moving to. We're moving into a time where there'll be no crime, and people will just not want to commit any crimes. People will not want to hurt little children or whatever. Like the United States has a desperate need to murder as many children and rape them as many times as possible, because that's the way the United States is. Let's just get real. The United States is about raping and murdering children and murdering as many people as they possibly can in other countries. And that's why we have Nazi concentration camps all over this country, because if we didn't have divine intervention, we would all be dead. Well, we humans would all be dead. Not the reptilian or the reptilian human hybrids or the reptilian human insectian hybrids. Anyway, thank you so much for your prayers. They're really making a difference. I know a lot of people don't see what's going on, but I wish they would take a look and then let me know what you see. Thank you. God bless your hearts.